You know how it is? Sometimes you open that credit card statement
Oh, yeah.
and bam, there's this gigantic charge you totally forgot about. Cloud costs, they can be kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
if you're not, paying close attention. They're flexible, powerful, don't get me wrong, but man, those bills can really sneak up on you.
Absolutely. It's that classic thing, traditional IT budgeting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, planning a vacation, right? You've got your flights booked, the hotel, you pretty much know what you're in for.
Right.
Cloud costs, though, they're more like, imagine trying to budget for a cross-country road trip, but here's the catch. You have absolutely no clue where you're stopping or what you'll even come across along the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame. And that's where FinOps swoops in to, like, be your GPS.
Right.
Helps you navigate that craziness. And today, we're diving deep, deep into the heart of FinOps budgeting. We've got our trusty guide, the Budgeting FinOps Framework Capability, to lead the way.
This guide feels like essential reading, really, especially because I keep hearing people say FinOps budgeting. It's not just your typical, track every penny kind of deal.
No, no, no. It's way more dynamic than that. Think of it like this. You're directly connecting your cloud spending to your business goals, making sure those two are like best buddies, always on the same page.
Okay.
It's not just about where the money's going. It's about making that money work its socks off for you.
I like the sound of that. But, how do we actually do that? This guide keeps mentioning a holdback strategy.
All right.
What is that exactly? Is it really as straightforward as it sounds?
You know what? It really is simple in theory, which is fantastic. Holdback is basically a financial cushion you build right into your cloud budget.
Yeah.
It's there for those unexpected bumps in the road. Let's say all of a sudden a project needs a boost, needs more resources,
Right.
or, a new product feature just blows up, everyone loves it. Suddenly you've got this spike in usage.
So it's like what, an emergency fund, but for your cloud?
Bingo. You got it.
I like it.
Here's the interesting part, though. How much emergency fund you actually need, well, that changes as your organization levels up, matures.
You're talking about those crawl, walk, run stages this guy's always going on about, right?
Exactly. You got it. In that crawl phase, when you're just dipping your toes into the FinOps pool,
Yeah.
you probably need a bigger holdback, right? You're relying more on manual stuff, spreadsheets, all that. More room for, let's call them surprises.
Right, like when you first start cooking for yourself,
Exactly.
you're probably going to burn dinner a few times.
Exactly. You're learning the ropes. But then, as you get the hang of it, you get some better tools.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking now. You're in the walk phase. You can start reining in that holdback a bit.
Okay.
Things are more structured, more predictable,
Yeah.
And then we reach the promised land, the run phase. This is where automation comes in, takes the wheel.
Nice.
You've got these systems that give you such a crystal clear view of your spending.
Okay.
You can be incredibly precise with your budgeting, which means, you guessed it, a much smaller holdback.
So it's about evolving from, I hope this works out, to, I know these numbers better than my own grandma's recipe.
Right.
And then ultimately reaching that Zen state of, my cloud runs itself, time for an app. Okay, maybe not that last part, but a tighter, more responsive budget. I'm telling you, it sounds like a beautiful thing.
It is.
But here's the thing that's been bugging me.
Yeah.
Who's actually doing all of this? It can't just be like one person armed with a spreadsheet in a dream.
You're preaching the gospel truth there. It's a team sport, no doubt.
Right.
FinOps, especially this whole budgeting thing, it really blows up those walls between the techies and the finance folks.
Right.
You've got your FinOps practitioners, the product teams, our finance gurus, the engineers holding it all together.
Okay.
Everyone's got skin in the game.
So ADS like a band then, everyone's got to be playing the same tune. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To make it music, not just a whole bunch of noise. So who are the headliners here? And what are they actually doing to make this FinOps budgeting magic happen?
Okay, picture this, your FinOps practitioners. They're the conductors, leading the whole orchestra. They set the budgeting strategy. They translate those business goals into real, concrete budget plans.
Okay.
Plans that actually make sense to both the tech folks and the finance folks at the same time.
Gotcha.
It's a delicate balance, my friend. They're also the ones glued to those KPIs, those metrics, making sure you're on track, hitting your targets.
So they're like translators, A&E referees, all rolled into one.
There you go. You got it.
Got it. What about the product teams, though? Because, they're usually laser focused on building the next big thing.
Yeah.
Are we really expecting them to be budget wizards, too?
We don't need them waving wands, but being cost conscious. Absolutely. Remember, FinOps is all about connecting those cloud dollars to the things that actually matter to the business.
Right.
And guess who defines those goals? Product teams. So yeah, they've got to bake that cost effectiveness right in from the get-go when they're sketching out new features, new products, the works.
So it's about making smart choices early on, not just freaking out when the bill lands on your desk.
100%. Prevention is better than cure.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
What about the finance team then? Because they always strike me as the folks who, like, actually enjoy spreadsheets and numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Are they the enforcers in this whole thing, keeping everyone in line?
They are, but think of it more like they're the architects, making sure the entire financial structure isn't going to crumble.
Okay.
They set those crystal clear deadlines for cost estimates. They're pulling all that data into those massive budgets everyone's using.
Right.
And yeah, they get to unleash their inner budgeting superhero to make sure the financial ship is sailing smoothly.
Makes sense, because if the cloud budget goes off the rails, the whole company's going to feel the impact.
Oh yeah, it's a domino effect.
It sounds like this budgeting capability guide, it's really hammering home this whole breaking down silos thing.
That's essential.
Between tech and finance.
Yeah.
But what about the engineers themselves? The ones, knee-deep in code, actually building and running these cloud systems?
Right, the wizards behind the curtain.
Exactly.
Oh.
What's their part in this whole grand production?
Critical, absolutely critical. They're the ones with their fingers on the pulse of the cloud 24/7. They see exactly how all those resources are being used, like in real time.
Oh, okay.
If spending starts creeping up, they're often the first ones to notice, uh-oh, something's not right.
So they're like the canaries in the coal mine.
That's a good way to put it.
If they start keeling over, we know there's trouble.
Exactly. And if they're planning some big changes, something that might throw the budget out of whack, it's on them to wave their hands, get the green light from the budget owners before they unleash the Kraken.
No more surprise spending sprees. Love it.
Exactly.
This is all making sense, but there's got to be someone calling the shots at the top.
Of course.
The one who gives the final thumbs up or, makes those tough budget adjustments based on everyone's input.
Right. The buck has to stop somewhere.
Exactly. Who is that?
That, my friend, would be leadership.
Okay.
They've got that 30,000-foot view of the whole operation. And ultimately, it's their neck on the line, right?
Right.
If some mission-critical project goes over budget, but it's also the golden ticket to, explosive growth, they're the ones who got to decide how to move those chess pieces around, adjust priorities, all that jazz.
Makes sense. They're playing 3D chess while we're down here with checkers.
Something like that.
So we've covered the who and the why of this whole FinOps budgeting thing.
Right.
But what about the how? This guide, it really digs into those maturity levels.
Yeah.
And it's got to be more than just spreadsheets and prayers, right? Give me the lowdown.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, we're talking about a marathon, not a sprint here, right?
Right.
The crawl stage, it's all about getting those basic budgeting habits down pat.
Yeah.
You're probably living and breathing spreadsheets, doing things the old school manual way, and that budgeting cycle. It's probably mirroring what you did with traditional IT budgets.
Okay.
Which means, yeah, it's probably an annual thing.
So like dipping your toes in the FinOps pool before you do a cannonball.
There you go. Perfect analogy. As you get more comfortable, though, as your cloud usage starts to ramp up, that's when you transition to the walk stage.
Okay.
This is where you bring in the big guns, start implementing some proper structured processes.
Right.
Maybe invest in some shiny new FinOps tools, even.
Right, because the tools are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right, to make this easier.
Absolutely.
So you got to take advantage.
For sure. And that budgeting cycle, it might get a little shorter, maybe quarterly now.
Okay.
Got to keep up with the speed of the cloud, right?
Yeah, because waiting a whole year to adjust your cloud budget when things are changing so quickly, that's just asking for trouble.
You're playing with fire there, my friend.
Exactly.
And collaboration is key at this stage, by the way. At the walk stage, you'll see that FinOps team, they're constantly checking in with those key stakeholders. Right. Product, engineering, finance, the bosses, the whole gang.
Right. Got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. Everyone's informed, aligned, no one's left in the dark.
It's about making it clear that FinOps, it's not just a one-time thing. This is a lifestyle change.
Preach it.
And then we've climbed the mountain. We're here, the run stage.
We made it.
The peak, the summit. This is where I imagine things get really, really interesting. Different ball game at this level.
It is for sure. The run stage, this is for, the big leagues, organizations with cloud deployments that'll make your head spin.
Okay.
They really, really know their cloud costs inside and out.
Right.
Think sophisticated, fully automated systems giving you this like X-ray vision into every single dollar you're spending in the cloud.
Okay, so less dipping your toes and more conducting a full-blown cloud orchestra at this point.
That's a great way to put it.
I like it.
You're in total control. Budgeting at this level, it's like woven into the fabric of your entire financial system, you know?
Yeah.
You can track costs down to the penny.
No way.
Seriously, by business unit, by product, even by individual teams if you want to get really granular.
Talk about knowing your numbers.
Oh, yeah.
This level of like automation, this integration, that's got to take a serious investment though, right? I'm talking tools, expertise, the whole 9 yards.
You're not wrong. It's a commitment, for sure. But the payoff, man, it's huge. You're talking about agility, responsiveness. You're always adapting, optimizing, making sure every single cloud dollar is working towards those big picture goals.
Any CFO's dream right there.
Absolutely.
But even at the run level, even with all the fancy automation in the world,
Right.
things happen. What happens when a team, let's say they realize, uh-oh, we're headed for a budget overrun? Is it like panic button time?
That's where our old friend, the holdback strategy, comes back into play. Remember how we talked about it evolving?
Yes.
At the run stage, those holdback processes, they're often automated too, standardized across the board.
Okay, so if a team's like approaching the red line, they could just cap into their holdback and bam, crisis averted.
Hold your horses. It's not a free-for-all, you know?
Right.
Even though it can be automated, you've still got those guardrails in place. You need approvals. Got to make sure everything's legit. No one's going on a spending spree.
So checks and balances, even in the land of cloud automation.
Always.
I like it. It sounds like this whole FinOps budgeting framework, it's not just about hitting some arbitrary number. It's about building a culture where everyone's thinking about costs, right?
100%. You're empowering everyone from the engineers all the way up to the folks in the corner office to really understand what the cloud brings to the table and how to use it responsibly.
This has been honestly eye-opening, I gotta say. I feel way more ready to tackle my own cloud budgeting adventures now, armed with this knowledge.
Glad to hear it.
Any parting words of wisdom for our listeners before we wrap up?
Just remember this, even if you've got the best tools, the best practices in the world, cloud costs, they always come with a little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
It's the price you pay for flexibility, for scalability, all those cloud perks. The real goal here with FinOps budgeting, it's not just about sticking to some rigid number.
Right.
It's about always getting better, always tweaking things, and making sure those cloud dollars are always pushing you towards your goals.
Perfectly put. It's not about being a Scrooge. It's about being smart, being proactive, and squeezing every ounce of value out of those cloud dollars.
Exactly.
For those of you ready to embark on your own FinOps journey, the FinOps Foundation's website, that's your home base. Tons of resources, including that awesome budgeting capability guide we've been dissecting today. Go forth and optimize, everyone.